Hey everyone, it's Flora. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video we'll be looking at the preview images for episode 21 of Fruits Basket Season 2. So I found out there will officially be 25 episodes this season, so we are basically almost done. We have about a month left. I can't believe it. It's gonna be good though, and next week's episode is gonna be pretty emotional. Not sure if it'll affect me as much as the Rin backstory, but this will be pretty heavy too, so just prepare yourselves. And also, as a reminder, these videos I will be talking about manga spoilers, manga content that has not shown up in the anime. So if this is your first time watching the Fruits Basket anime and you don't want to be spoiled of anything in the story, make sure you exit this video now because we're gonna go ahead and look at the preview images and figure out where it is in this volume. All right, let's get to it. I'm really excited for this episode because I feel like I read these chapters over and over again when I was younger. I don't know why, Yuki's backstory just really gets to me, and it's gonna be hard to see, but I think it's gonna be really good. All right, let's look at the first one. Oh, he's so cute. So I know some anime onlys were curious, why was there young Yuki and Kyo in the opening for the second half of season 2? Well, we're about to get those moments, and I think it'll be nice to see everyone, but the context is kind of sad. So, looks like Yuki has tears in his eyes, so I'm assuming this is when he first meets Akito. So there's the scene where Yuki's with his mom, and they go to greet Akito for the very first time, and Yuki's overcome with this emotion that he can't really understand, which is actually the curse, the zodiac soul or whatever, crying out to their god. So it's something unknown in my heart cried out. I wanted to see him. I didn't want to see him. I wanted to hold him close and yet run away. Loved and hated. So it's a very complex feeling for such a young person to have, but it's part of the curse, and yeah, I think it'll be a cool scene to see. I'm excited to see the how it's animated and the music too. Yep, alright, so same moment. So this is when Akito first meets Yuki and hugs Yuki, saying, "We meet at last." Yeah, they followed it really well. It looks pretty exactly. Yeah, this will be interesting to see because we haven't really seen Akito young yet in the anime, and seeing their personality then versus now and what's led to that. Obviously, we're not getting the whole context. That's for season 3, but we're gonna start to see some backstory of Akito. Okay, all right, so interesting. I'm wondering how they're gonna show this. It's interesting because when I read this as a teenager, I didn't really think much about characters' age differences. I don't know, it just never really occurred to me, but now that I think about it, like, Shigure is older, but he's not too much older than Akito. I'd say Akito's like, what, late teens, early 20s, and then Shigure is 27, 28, so I'm guessing it's like less than 10 years difference, but yeah, we'll just see how that goes. It's interesting though because it's a side of Akito that we haven't really seen. We know that Akito gets upset a lot, but because now we're seeing these scenes with Shigure now that they're older, and it's like he's not very nice to Akito, but Shigure was rocking Akito to sleep here, so it'll be interesting. All right. Oh, he's so cute, but this scene is actually really sad. So one of the saddest parts is like Yuki being hated just for being the rat, and also having to be Yuki's or Akito's playmate. It's just a really crappy childhood, and like this poor kid doesn't deserve the hatred that he's getting. It's not even his fault, you know? Like he's not the rat like with those memories or anything. It's just he was born with that zodiac, and I don't know. It's just very sad because this is after the scene where Akito blows up on Yuki saying like, you're just my toy, blah, blah, blah. And then he realizes that he's so alone and like no one else interacts with him during New Year's. And when he first meets Kyo, he just, he thinks like, oh, his hair is so pretty. And it's like, oh, that's so sweet. But then Kyo's like, obviously he's got the issue with his mom and his dad, and he has his reasoning to blame the rat for everything. It's all your fault. So this is probably when Kyo tells Yuki to disappear because everything is the rat's fault. It's so sad. I might get emotional. We'll see. Oh, and this is like the one part that he actually achieved happiness as a kid, and then it just got taken away from him. So terrible. Let's see. One of my favorite scenes that I really hope they put in the episode is when Yuki is in the car with his mom driving to his like preppy school, and then he drives past Haru and Kyo and sees Momiji, and it's like he wants to be with them, like he wants to interact with others. Oh. And he just kind of looks away, and then his mom's like, sit down. Ugh, it's just so sad. I don't know. Alright, so this is when Yuki first meets his friends at school. If we remember in season 1, he mentioned to Toru that there was a time when his secret got found out and he transformed in front of a group of people, and this is when that's gonna happen. So I couldn't remember if these were his classmates. I think they were, because he was at some school and they mentioned there were some Soma children among the groups of friends, but then they got carried away and he forgot to be careful of girls, and yep. I can't wait to see this. Every time I see Kyoko, I like get sad just cause, you know. But I'm excited to see her. It's nice seeing her with her long hair too, before she cut it short. But the ending of 84 is just so sad when all he wanted was, he said all he wanted was like parents and a place to go and nothing else, and he just cries. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. Alright, so this is skipping forward to 85, when Yuki gets this random burst of something, and he's like, I'm running somewhere. And this part here, he overhears this conversation of a mom who's very worried when she's like, the policemen are like, oh, we need a description of your child that you can't find. And she's like, oh my god, I already told you. She's adorable. She's an adorable girl with a cute hair and a cute voice and cute clothes and cute pom-poms in her hair. And they're like, you're gonna have to be a little more specific. I just love seeing her be so like motherly and loving. It's so cute. Aww, the hat. I can't wait to see the full hat scene. It's gonna be so good. It's just one of my favorites. Yes! I mean, I'm not happy that she's like crying, but this is the scene. So Yuki's like, oh my god, I remember seeing some girl a while ago when I was running around, and then he runs back to her. And he's like, okay, I should go let her mother know. But then Toru's following him. And he's like, oh no, she's following me. And he's like, oh, I can't let her hug me or touch me. But then she falls down, but then she gets back up. So I'm assuming this is the same shot. It looks pretty similar. And then he realizes, like, the emotion in the characters' expressions are just so good. Like, this shot of Yuki right here, he's like, oh my god, this person needs me right now. Like, I'm needed. Even though Akito said I wasn't needed, this moment, I am needed. And it really changed his life. It's so moving. Alright, we have 3 more pictures to go. Oh, it's so sweet. I'm curious to know how old they are here. Initially, I kind of imagined them like kind of younger, but they're probably in elementary school, I'm thinking. So I noticed right away that they changed the height difference. There's this, I feel like Yuki is really tall here, but then again, her head is kind of facing downward. But it seems like they're more of this similar height in the anime. And then he gives her the hat and he runs away. And then he turns into a rat because he's not doing so hot health-wise. Whew. It's gonna be good though. Aww. And I think it's so important that Yuki's like obviously not sharing like the zodiac part of the story, but just opening up to someone that is now a very good friend and someone who doesn't know the context of the Somas or anything else. It's just an outside opinion, someone that he can just open up to and not feel judged. And yeah, it's just a very moving moment, a very moving conversation. I know some people were kind of upset that they didn't say the full line at the end of episode 20, what he was looking for in Toru, but I mean, I don't mind that they didn't say it because I feel like this episode will say it like towards the end. Like towards the end of Yuki's story, we'll finally get that answer and we'll have the whole context before we get that bomb of what he means to her. And I don't know, I have hope and faith that they're gonna do a really good job. But I'm thinking this is probably this shot when Yuki, I mean, basically the entire flashback, he's just kind of remembering himself. He's not actually telling Kakeru the entire story, but I'm sure it was nice to just have a friend sit there and just like be there, be present. Because he said, "What's so pitiful and pathetic? You've been spacing out for a while." So this is probably when Yuki's been thinking of his backstory and his past. Ah, man. It's just such a good chapter. All of them. 84, 85, 86. It's very, very moving. Aww. Let's see, where would this be? So there's a few parts. It could be right after Kakeru says, "Well, you've been spacing out for a while," and then he starts talking again. Maybe Yuki's saying, "I was just thinking about my childhood." And there's this part where he's looking up, not looking down, but then there's this right here. This might be it. "Over time, I grew weak again." And then he starts to like, oh, I am on the wrong side. He starts to think about how even though he felt strong during that memory with Toru, he started to become weak again because of Akito's abuse. Hope turned to despair. Aspiration for Kyo turned into jealousy. And he wanted to be loved. And yeah. Ugh. I just feel like the anime is doing such a good job showing Yuki and Toru's relationship. Like, it's such a foundational part of the series. And the fact that they love each other, but not in like a romantic way. They're just two people that cross paths and they both mean a lot to each other. And like, she's changed his life. And it's just very wholesome and I love it so much. All right, well, I'm super excited for 21. It's gonna be great. I am getting sad that the season's almost over, but I'm excited to see it all. I'm really, really excited for the play that's coming up. I'm not sure if that's gonna be next week or the week after. I don't know. It might be 22 or 23. Probably 22. We'll see what happens. Alright everyone, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet and you enjoyed everything. I really appreciate the support so far, and if you want to follow me on any of my other social media, I have mine in the description, and I'm also streaming on Twitch a lot right now, so if you want to join me on there, feel free to follow me there. I'm right now streaming The Last of Us Part 2. It's pretty emotional, but I do other variety of games too. Alright, have a great weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Take care. Bye!